Watch this. I am going to make, so we are going to have this come up. It's gonna go into blue, fall through red, come back up the other way, and then it's gonna turn to orange. So it's gonna fall this way, and then we are going to chain it with purple. And I think what should happen is it'll bounce in here, jump, go up and down again, and then come up here. Come up. It's gonna it's gonna go purple to yellow. It's gonna hit blue, go down to red, go past red, shoot up, hit orange, I think. Come down, hit purple, and it's gonna be stuck in a loop between orange and purple. Oh man, I think I just noticed that the oh nice! I saw the okay, because I saw the you know what? I just saw the stream go out for a second there. My screen was black, but it seems like yes! I think it's 40 viewers. When we get 40 viewers, we get the quality stream setting. Sweet, we did it again. Thanks guys. Thank you all for watching. Awesome. That's gonna be like the subplot of Meeblo. You can hit I think you just need to reset, and you just need to restart the screen, and because they added quality setting. Alright, so cool. Yeah, I think that should be like the subplot of every stream, is to see if we can get Twitch to give us the quality setting change feature. Okay, so let's test this one, right? So this is like, as I'm playing with this, I feel like this should be a puzzle. But the problem is it involves breaking the mechanic, which is something I would like to do in the later stages of the game. Because just what I'm doing right now is very interesting to me, but I don't know. I don't think it can work. Like, the mechanic can't work like this, because it should be consistent with the rules. But maybe sort of like once you finish the game, and if you go back, then you can start to break. Or maybe it's like maybe I could do something like the magic circle, where you can actually change the properties of cubes and color change beams, so you can program these to do all sorts of crazy stuff. The problem is how hard it is to observe what's happening, because it's all going so fast. Yeah, so okay, let's try this again. Now, it should fall. The yellow box should... I'm guessing it's going to go to blue, bounce back and forth between blue and red once, go up to orange, and then kind of go back and forth. It should end up going back and forth between yellow and purple. Orange and purple. See? Oh, nice. This looks really inappropriate. Does it? Okay. So that's really cool. I wonder if, interesting. Let me do this. Let's add another box to, I'd like to add another box to this. Okay, I know what I can do. Oh, see, now that's interesting. See, now it's not doing that. Okay, so see, this should be orange. So that's really messed up. Basically, what I want to do is I want to get the blue to touch. Okay, yeah. these boxes, the color changing beam is pretty much completely broken. If I make, let me see if this happens. So, right. Oh, interesting. So that also skips the blue beam. Oh no, it doesn't skip the blue beam. It becomes blue, but it goes back. Oh, you know what? Okay. Never mind. The green one isn't special. It doesn't skip green. It doesn't skip green. It simply, it turned into green, but it just went past it. So, possibly, no, it just looked kind of weird. Alright, so I think if it's not, yeah, if it isn't, yeah, you know what, if there's something isn't directly behind green, what it does is just gonna bounce back and forth between these two. It would be better to compare this to Great Permutator. But that could be sort of a mechanic that's later on in the game. So you start off with these color changing beams. And there's a way, you know, at first you just realize you can change colors. But then you start to realize, but then kind of later on you realize you can start to chain them together and you can move these around. The only problem is, what's preventing you from simply doing it one at a time? Like, why would I force you to have to chain these together and not simply, you know, bring the purple cube directly to this blue one and change it? Right, so I think what should happen is, yeah. Okay, so it does go back and forth. I think it just seems to get bigger and bigger. Actually, let's move the blue beam out of the way. And the I think Great Permutator is the name of the game. Hello, Garlando Bloom, how's it going? You're back. Andy James Adams is also back. Alright, so this isn't actually a mechanic that I'm going to keep in the game, but it's been we've sort of, because of this weird bug, have sort of discovered a somewhat interesting puzzle game, and it's kind of cool trying to figure out what the system does and trying to predict what's going to happen. So it seems like with the green and yellow, though, that the bounce gets bigger and bigger. Yeah, okay, you see that? So it just seems like the box is gonna... Wait, I wonder if it, you know, what would happen if this wall wasn't there? If it would just kind of start... Oh man, I wonder what's gonna happen if we get it to loop. Oh, whoa, 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 guys, we gotta... Okay. We gotta make it so that... Because I think what's gonna happen is... Right, so without... The wall that the yellow box was hitting was causing... So it seems like when it starts ping-ponging back and forth, it gets farther and farther away from the beams each time. It wasn't happening, though, because we had this wall that was blocking the cube. Now, I'm wondering what would happen once it gets so far that it starts to go through the wall wrapping. So I think what we can do to help us with that is to make the wall wrap distance a lot smaller. Where is the wall wrapping thing? Okay. Wait a minute. Maybe this is why it was happening? There was no distance that was set. Okay. Interesting. Wait, those bugs may have been a problem with the wall wrapping, now that I think about it. Interesting. Let me see now. Let's see. Okay, wait, no, these should get applied, so... Okay, wait a minute. All right, let me. No, no, I don't. No, there was no roll wrapping happening. I think. Okay, let's see this now. Wow. All right, so hold on. Let me catch up on the chat. More of a how can I not cause these two to chain thing that you could do. For example, you could have a yellow cube, but just underneath the yellow beam is another beam. Okay, so you want to avoid that. Meaning you need to make sure the yellow cube stays, but doesn't hit the other beam when you switch. I see. Okay, okay. All right, let's try. I'm really curious to see what's gonna happen right now. Okay, so first of all, what I want to do is let me just make sure that the roll wrapping is working by throwing the cube off. Okay, so we know the roll wrapping is working. And now, okay, let's rotate first just to get that prompt out of the way. So now what we want to do is we've turned the purple box to yellow. And what should let's move up here so we can get a better view. Let's make sure, okay, I don't think there's anything in the way. We're gonna stand over here, we're gonna rotate to yellow, that's gonna fall into green and it's gonna start going back and forth, ping pong back and forth with increasing distance. And I think, so what should happen eventually is we should see this move down that way and then we would see actually another cube come in, but I'm wondering what happens if the other instance of the cube hits this beam. Is that gonna cause another problem? Okay, so yeah, we're seeing this. Okay, so see, I was right. Okay, we have that bug. It caught the edge of that. Okay, we're not. Let me see. All right, first of all, let's move these two windows out of the way. Yeah, let's move the windows out of the way just so that they don't interfere. Okay, now what should happen, yeah, I honestly have no idea what to expect. So what we're going to do is just make sure to move the purple box. We're going to try to place it, you know, we're going to try to place it away from the wall a bit, just so it doesn't catch on the edge. I thought we fixed that bug, but apparently not. All right, let's rotate. We are going to, okay, let's place it up here. So now I don't think anything should interfere. And then we are going to, okay. Okay. Alright, these other, I need to get rid of these other, oh my god, what the heck just happened? Guys, you guys see that? It's like, it's going up now? What the hell? Oh, so these other boxes are like really seriously distracting. In fact, they're... Hey, son of G-Days, how's it going? Welcome back. We are basically... We've sort of discovered this bit of a puzzle game that is very Star Sea Pilgrim-ish. It's all just due to some weird bugs. So I actually... Let's get... Okay, no. Let's get rid of these boxes, because they were starting to get really annoying. Let's just disable them for now. And, actually, you know what? I'm gonna build myself a little platform that I can stand on, and that will give us a slightly better view of the crazy stuff that is happening. All right, let's do that. Okay, let's move this one out of the way. We are going to stand on this side and watch this craziness happen. What happened there? Antechamber. Yeah, I get apostolic. I get comparisons to Antechamber a lot. I think it's because of the minimalist art style and the edge detection. I do hear it a lot, but I think I'm just gonna embrace it, you know? If people want to, I think it's actually not bad to be compared to Antichamber. It's much better than drawing Portal comparisons. Alright, so we are going to hit rotate. Alright, and start watching this. Now I think basically at some point it just starts only traveling upwards. Right? At some point it's going to hit. Okay, you see that? So basically it goes up high enough that it hits this, and then it just... Interesting. So now instead of... Wow, I have no idea what's going on. I think basically instead of ping-ponging back and forth, it's now got... That distance has gotten so far, it's gone past the wool wrapping distance. So now it just, now it's, the way it's ping-ponging just looks like it's all going in one direction. So I actually want to try to get the timing right. When it's coming up this next time, I'm gonna hit rotate gravity so we can try to get it stuck kind of somewhere around here. Just so we can take a look at it. Okay, let me see if I can land on that. Okay, I can't. Oh, interesting. So that's our... Interesting. Right, so we've got, Anyway, there's that. So this is kind of basically what we've discovered with these light beams. I think what I'm going to do is ask Chris to save this code in... So I want to save it somewhere just so it's sitting around, because I think it's kind of an interesting thing that's going on. Like basically, one idea I have is for the late stages for the meta game to be where the mechanics are broken. But in order to introduce that, you have to be really good at the game. Like you have to be super familiar with it. You have to know kind of everything that's going to happen and have played the game for quite some time, so that when you, like, I feel what I was doing right there could be like a super advanced puzzle, but everything that's been done requires like a really solid understanding of the mechanics. And I'm not a good test subject for that, obviously, because I've been working on this game for 2.5 years now, but that would be an interesting direction to take. That being said, I should probably play Infinifactory, because I think that seems like a very Infinifactory type game. That was not the intended behavior. Yeah, Antichamber was a great game, but I think I'll show you. I don't know if you've seen some of the other shots before, but we are gonna go into another level that we've been working on. We're gonna kind of polish up the interior of that, but this is yeah. I'm gonna hold on to the code, kind of keep this puzzle the way it is, and then come back. I think once all the puzzles with the intended mechanic of the color changing beam is used or have been designed, once we actually have the color changing beams working the way I intended, what I'd like to do is then come back and see if I can start introducing broken versions of the mechanics that lead to really crazy stuff. But yeah, that was basically what just happened there is very typical of how I design puzzles. I build these mechanics and then I kind of go in and start playing around and kind of see what happens, and then you sort of start to combine all the different mechanics. Like, oh, okay, well, how is all that ping pong? What's, you know, with the ping pong back and forth and the increasing distance? Oh, well, what's going to happen as soon as it hits the roll wrapping. Now I'm not sure though if what happened when it hit the roll wrapping, like, is having it. I was kind of expecting that you would just see two boxes kind of come up at once, but not so much seeing it continuously traveling in one direction. Actually, you know what? Here's something we should try, which is let's start it with the green beam and hit and make it go yellow, and then see if it still ends up traveling upwards. So then, because then that would mean that somehow it's whatever. Okay, we just did that wrong because we need to place it high enough that it's not going to catch on the ledge. But I'm wondering if it's going to keep, once it hits the whirl wrap, if it's going to start traveling up again, or the other way. So okay, all right, we're going to pick up this box. The other thing I was thinking of doing, which I don't think I would do then, is having, in order for the color change to happen, you actually need to place the box inside the beam for a certain while. So, like, as in there's like a 3 second, or not, maybe not 3 seconds, but 1 or 2 seconds where if you bring the box into the beam and you take it out again, it's not going to change colors. But that does mean you can't kind of drop a cube into a beam and have it respond. So I think I'm not going to do that. Alright, so now what we're going to do is going to rotate onto this green surface. We can tell it's green, it's because the cursor was pointing green. So see, this is interesting because it's actually changing colors. Did you notice that? Before it wasn't changing colors, and this I think it actually is. Okay, so see, now it's just green going up. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I know what's happening. Okay, I think I know what's happening now. What's going on is okay, let's take a look at this. I think we can walk through this step by step. Fuck. Oops. Sorry, that was I meant to hit pause and then I hit. So I think I know what's happening is basically once it roll wraps, it goes so far that it hits the yellow again. And then because yellow is the opposite direction, it's now it turns into yellow and continues up that direction, and then it hits green and then turns back into green again. So well, what I realize is that we can walk through this step by step and then kind of check out exactly what's going on there. Alright, so this is, you can go frame by frame. But I wonder if there's does anyone know if there's a hotkey for the next frame? Okay, so you see, okay, watch. It hits green, it's going to turn to yellow, right? But it keeps going in the green direction, and then it comes back. Wait, you know what? Here's I'm going to show you guys. This is like, okay, this is why the console is great, is I do have a way to change time. Set time scale. Let's do it 0.5. You know what? Let's make it let's make it 0.3. That's, no, I screwed up. Set time scale 0.3. Okay, so that's kind of cool. Okay, so we basically slowed it down. Okay, see, now it's hitting the whirl wrap. It's gonna come back down. Look, okay, did you guys see that? It turned to yellow and then it kept going. So we see we've hit the whirl wrap, and set time scale 0.2. All right, no, we'll watch. We'll wait for it to come up, and then we'll hit. Actually, you know what? Let's just make it 0.1 when it comes back up. All right, it turns to yellow, and then it hits green again. Okay, interesting. No, it is. You actually. It's what's happening is that it's going up in green. It's hitting yellow. It's turning yellow, but then it's hitting green again, and then coming back up when it's green. So it actually, it's like it's going through green twice, if that makes sense, because it goes yellow, green, yellow, and then back to green. So that's why when it comes back up from the bottom, it's green again. Hello, Vivasser. Did you just get in? I'm just seeing your name for the first time. Anyway, hello? Yeah, it glues a block. So let me see this. Catch up on this. The most efficient infinite factory solutions usually do one weird trick. It glues a block to a structure, rotates the entire structure, and then removes the glued block, which is a super efficient way to move a structure from one place to another. Yeah. Interesting. That's a really crazy advanced puzzle, right? Because it basically requires you to really understand the whirl wrapping really well, which I think is cool because no one's done it. If you guys have played Braid, those of you who play Braid, there's that one of the puzzle rooms has one of the mechanics where you can create your shadow self, and it's got the key. I remember being really confused when I was playing that puzzle, and I think I solved it without really knowing what was going on. And then I watched John Blow give a talk about it, and he said with that puzzle he didn't know it was like very confusing to the player, but it was a truthful puzzle design. Like, it was consistent with the mechanics. Even though it seemed unintuitive to the player, it was consistent with the mechanics. And I think he said he liked it, and he would put it in again. But that was the one that was the most confusing to players. So I feel like having a puzzle like what we just did, which is really, like, that was the world. Well, the color changing beam thing is sort of broken, but I feel like that is a truthful puzzle because it's just how messed up the world is. But interesting. Cause see, this is what I'm thinking. Right, so we know yellow is gonna fall this way, and green is going to fall. No, wait. Wait a minute. So this surface is yellow. So this is yellow. So yellow... No, wait, right. So yellow falls this direction. So if it's yellow, it's going to fall this direction. If it's green, it's going to fall this direction. So what if you had green here, right? So this is what would happen with green. Oh, whoa, guys, check this out. Okay, we're going to use a whirl wrapping again, but we're going to have it ping pong the opposite way, which is we are going to change this purple cube to green. It's going to fall this way, so it's going to fall down this way, come back up from above, and then hit yellow. So it's going to go through one. So, okay, so see, this is interesting, because we basically want to convert it to yellow, but we would... Okay, let me see now. Alright, Interesting. Right, so what's gonna happen is when we... Fuck. Sorry, I totally just missed what happened because we don't have there wasn't like a good place to see it. So let's move, first of all, let's move these two beams out of the way. Let's move these guys out of the way. And let's, alright, you can go out of the way. Let's make sure we have a good place to watch this. So we are going to use this to rotate onto green. And then what's going to happen is now, if everything, with the correct version, it should fall down and then come back down from the other side and turn to yellow. But I think in this case it's going to hit, actually, yeah, I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Yeah, it'll pass right through yellow and it'll hit green, but then doesn't at some point it comes back? Okay, the problem why I wouldn't have small world wrap sizes is because then you would be able to see. I don't think I want it close enough that you can see the repetition of the cube, because then it means that. See that? You guys see that? Watch very closely. There's a speck in the distance. Okay, guys, pay attention to this little speck here. It's tiny. I think you can probably only see it if you're 1080. But that speck is this. So, is this purple cube? Watch. You guys see that? You guys see how it's moving? So, the problem there is you're not seeing yourself. And that means you're invisible, which I feel like then you would just see this floating box and not your own body, which looks kind of weird. And I'm pretty adamant about not having the player play as a character. You're not Shell. You're not Gordon Freeman. When you play, you're playing as yourself. I would like you to see yourself, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of cool, right? So that, I think somebody was asking, like, can you actually see the repetitions of these boxes in the distance? And the answer is yes. Now watch, for those of you that can see the speck, if I drop it, you'll see it. But yeah, you can basically see it moving in the distance, which I think is kind of cool. So let's turn it to green. And now what should happen is it should fall down, right? Yeah, so it just went through. Yeah, the problem with setting the time scale slow is it also makes the mouse movement really slow. Alright, there we can see this box come in. And right, it's green. And yeah, it's just gonna turn. So it seems like it's just going once. If it gets to the distance with the wheel wrapping, yeah. Do you see that? It did for a second. It like tries to go the other direction. It like went up, and then oh. Yeah, I think we're not changing the momentum fast enough. Interesting. Anyway, that's enough of that. This is an interesting, really interesting. So, alright. We have half an hour left in the stream. I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna go back to World 025. So that was very interesting. Alright, I'm opening up the level that we've been working on for the last few days, which is... Right now it's called The City, but I think that's actually a better... That's not quite the right word. The right title. Is it instantly setting itself to 0 or something completely different? I'm not sure. You're talking about it shouldn't move at all. It should, when it... I'm not sure if it's setting the velocity to 0 or if it's switching on. I don't think it sets velocity to 0. I think it goes into kinematic state, which should not make it move. So, oh. Anyway, as you can see, this game is full of very interesting challenges. Though there are some parts where making this game is almost as fun as playing a game. So, for those of you who are new, I'm going to do just a quick tour of this level. Basically, right now, you would start off on the inside here, and the idea is it's sort of this giant tower. You can kind of fall down through the middle. There are other towers in the distance. And you would start off on the inside, where not the inside hole here, but you would start off sort of on this area, and then part of... Oh, cool. Never mind. So... Okay, this is a little annoying. Basically, I'm trying to land on the level that's slightly higher than this one, but... Oh wait, okay, there it is. Right, so see, I basically got to get rid of this gap in the middle because it's a little annoying. But basically, you would start off on this level, and the idea is you'd open this door, and the reason why the door is here and not at the end of this tunnel is because I really want to, and this is something we were talking about yesterday, but I think this whole view of seeing the stairs in the distance and then kind of walking through and then coming out and then seeing all these towers hit you in the face is a really special moment. Alright, so making the game is funner than playing it. For this one, I think that's very true. Also a lot harder. Okay, set it to 0, then put it into kinematic. I need to look into it more and I need to look at the code some more. Hey, Highsight, thank you. Hey, hello, and thank you for hosting this on your channel. Really appreciate it. So, Ed Wilfer, you're kind of right, but I need to honestly. It's been too long since I've looked at the cube physics code, so I don't think I can give you a good answer. I will probably this weekend kind of dive back into it again. Basically, like what I do during the week. During the week is just super busy for me. Just a ton of meetings. And then what happens is during the weekend, I try to read through the code and catch up on the project. So, yes, whenever players see stairs, they want to walk up them, right? And so one of the kind of the design decisions we made was we used to actually have the door on this right side. The problem was you would come out and you would see this instead, and you know, it just, there's the stairs below, but I think oftentimes people this just looks like a drop, and it sort of doesn't lead you. I mean, if you kind of go down, then you're like, oh, cool, stairs. The problem with going downstairs is then you're also just like, hey, you know, you're just much more likely to fall down. But since you can't fall upwards, you do have to climb the stairs. I mean, you could fall down and eventually end up on the stairs, which is kind of what I do all the time. But yeah, so we kind of opened this up. So the idea is you'd walk through this tunnel, right? We'd open the door and walk through this tunnel. And the idea is you would see both the outside level and kind of get this moment. This is, what do they call it? Landmarks. Is it landmarks or is it site views? I think it's landmarks, but basically, no, vistas. So this is what I believe in video games they call vistas, which is just like a really special view. It's kind of nice because we pretty much guarantee that the player is going to see it. I mean, I'm not sure how else. I mean, unless you walk through the tunnel like this, you could. But even then, you'd see it on the other side. So, and then we would have them climb the stairs, which again I think is very special. It reminds me a lot of some of my favorite parts of Neisansei, kind of climbing through the crazy architecture in that game. And this is really nice because it's like when you get up here, immediately you see where to go next. So it's kind of a nice way to break up the stairs but still make it one. And then I think we would need to place a door here. We're going to get rid of this. Oops. I fell. We're going to get rid of the door there and then place... And then you would actually be able to come in out of that room and into here, I think. But there would also need to be some kind of puzzle there. If the hallway were longer, you wouldn't see the outside world. Better idea. What if the wall extended up their stairwell until the stairwell reached the top? That way, until you see the top of the stairwell, you don't... I actually do want you to... The thing is, I do want you to see the outside world. Let's see. So you're saying that... So Highside, you're saying that you think it's a little better if the player doesn't see the outside world until they're pretty much outside. See, I don't think that's bad though, because I think it's no, the railings doesn't work because I want you to be able to rotate. The problem with railings too is let's say you jump off to try to get up there. If you jump off and you accidentally kind of land in somewhere you don't want, and you get the railing, then you end up having to rotate, stand on that to rotate off. This also has like a sense of danger that I really like. But back to this, I don't think this is so bad. I think it's actually kind of nice to have a bit of the outside showing, just so, right? Just kind of that sense of something is strange. Because the thing is, even here, it doesn't look really big, right? It's only when you come out here and you start to see these two instances does it really feel like you're like, oh, okay, maybe there's just another tower in front of me, but then you go and it's like bam. So I'm gonna go ahead and start kind of designing the interior of this. We need to close it off. We need to avoid this really awkward kind of really super awkward piece here. That base, like this. If you're in here, this feels really too awkward. So we're gonna get rid of that. Yeah, and I think this staircase is definitely one of my favorite parts of this, kind of climbing around outside. And also, you know, another thing for those of you who are still new. By the way, if any of you are new and are enjoying the stream, make sure to hit follow. I think definitely, you know, we've been starting to get. Well, the only thing we've gotten is the ability to change the stream quality for viewers, but that has definitely. I think when we hit 40 viewers, then that kicks in. So obviously, the more viewers per stream, then the better. But one of the things I want to show you guys is with the... No, wait, this is not what I'm looking for. It's the world building setup, well, wrap bounds. Wait, oops. Setup world wrap bounds, and it just makes it really tight. Okay, it looks like that got displaced slightly. Oh no, you know, never mind. We have to remake these again. So because we shifted the stairs and I forgot to change it last time. So we're gonna go mesh utilities, duplicate original required environment tag, yes, only include enable game objects, yes, disable, yes, yes. All right. Yeah, so we fixed it, remember? No, wait a minute. That is because I haven't... Hold on, give me a second. I'm going to pull the latest build. Do I should have it. Interesting. Hold on a second. Stream broke for me. Stream broke for Ed Rio for not much. I was just kind of talking a bit about this. I've got to go back and ooh, it looks like I may have. Okay, no. For a second I was a little worried. I thought Unity just crashed, but basically Ed Rio for I'm gonna show people the. I think Ed Rio for I saw it when we were working on it yesterday. So this is not generated. This is all hand built, but what I want to do is do like the super tight condensed version. Oh man, by the way, we have 44 viewers, which I think is the highest I've ever had on the stream. So thank you all. Thank you all for tuning in and for watching. All right. Yes. Okay. So see now, before we used to have it combined on the wrong object. So now we fix that, which is just even easier for me to work with. And basically, this is the version that I wanted to show you guys, which looks a lot like a city because everything is really close together. But I'm not going to do that. We're going to kind of keep this distance. High five, Miblo. Miblo. Sorry about that. Mischief. The old habits die hard. All right, so this is the kind of the city view that we had before, which I really like. Oh, cool. And so this is one thing where okay, so you see this is the only thing we've got this this bridge that connects one instance to the next, right? So it's like, hey, I'm in this tower, I'm walking around, and then I can walk through this bridge and go to the next tower, and that feels like all it's connected. Fortunately, it's the only, and I think in order to have this be super dense, I really need these. Right now you can kind of see the edge. Let me see if I can make it, I think the frame rate is going to take a really big hit. Oh, no, that's not too bad actually. But now it's like you can't even see where this thing ends. So this has one bridge connecting one tower to the next. And that's really cool because you can go through here, right? And like da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and come out through here and then walk to the next bridge. So all the bridges are connected, and I think there needs to be more of that. Right now the stairs themselves are not connected. Whoa. I love this view, by the way. This looks super cool. Who the hell is Elohim? Talus Principle joke. My child. Wait, you're saying Elohim's tower is better than mine? That one only had like 7 stories. Oh man, Highsight, thank you. Thanks so much for pushing the game. Really appreciate it. Hey, Soulflare 3, how's it going? Alright, so let me see. Alright, so okay, let's kind of actually I want to go through this. So yeah, so the thing is these stairs, so we were talking about like, okay, do we have should I keep these towers super close together or farther apart like what I had before? Now, I definitely think keeping them close together is super cool. Right, I said this kind of reminded me of a scene from The Fifth Element. Let's get rid of the that little dot in the middle just so I can take screenshots whenever. The problem is, in that case, I would want the stairs to connect, right? So like, what would be really cool is if you go up the stairs and end up on the tower that's diagonal from me. So I want to take these stairs and end up on the tower that I'm facing right now. Unfortunately, these stairs are sort of designed so that they are always stuck to one instance, and I think that's not as interesting. So, like, what you want is a lot of those bridges, like what we have there. Toggle no clip, right? What I want is more bridges like this, connecting worlds. What would be really cool is to have maybe one part of it be this underground tunnel. There should be another tunnel that you can walk through with glass windows. Hey, I don't know if, hey, programming, Paulo Alexander 71717 C sharp. Yes, yeah, more progress on the towers. Yeah, the pause view. So this is kind of what's going on. This is what I have to generate. You guys see that? This is why this game is kind of pushing a lot of the rendering. And it's like you don't even get to all this, right? But all of this is here. Let's take a look at it in perspective. No, wait, I meant let's disable fog. Oh shit. Check that out. You see that, guys? This is what the world looks like from the editor. Oh, this is actually kind of cool. I'm gonna take a screenshot. By the way, I don't know if Apostolitic is still in the stream. But yeah, you know, I think you were talking about Antechamber a little earlier. This is sort of where I'm hoping you know, the visuals like this is where I'm really hoping that the game stands out from Antechamber, because I don't think Antechamber does not have anything close to here. Right. Hey, Apostolitic. Yeah, I was just checking to see if you were listening, but you know, I don't like. What do you think of this? I don't think this looks like Antechamber at all. In fact, I don't think this looks like, maybe Naissance, because it has that like the only game I can think of this looks like is Naissance. Let's take a look at the stats. So CPU is 5.3 milliseconds. So you see, verts, I have 41.2 million verts. That's way too many, right? It's like I should really have 3. So, but let's see here. My set pass calls are only 59. Right? Check that out. It's only 59. Let's take a look at the profiler does cause some problems. All right, so let's. Okay, I'm also in no clip right now, so, but let's just check out the rendering. Right, so draw calls 1,474. I don't think it's that bad. It's really the verts and the tries that are really insane. Yeah, camera render. So the drawing render opaque geometry. See, this is where it's only 2.61 milliseconds, but I am on a GTX 870. So yeah, are my puzzles going to be harder than the one in Antechamber? They're going to be more, I think you saw earlier, they're going to be more systematic driven. Right, it's going to be much more, yeah, they're like Da Vinci says, it's going to be much more systematic. Like, Antechamber, I think, is more about kind of playing mind tricks on you. So, I think Antechamber has fantastic pacing, but if, for example, there's that puzzle in Antechamber where you have the blue stairs going up and the red stairs going down, if you take the gun, you come across that puzzle really early on, but if you take the gun and start drawing a loop around it, you'll actually see the moment when when it teleports you. Like, you'll be drawing a line on the wall, and then you'll see that line disappear. So I think Antechamber doesn't quite take a systematic approach to the puzzles itself. But in this game, they are going to be very kind of like what we were doing earlier. If you throw the box off the world, it's going to wrap around because that wrapping applies to you, and that wrapping applies to everything. So it's much more about building an established set of rules and then letting you discover that. Man, I am totally digging how this world looks. Oh. Yeah, this just looks like some crazy city. Let's fly around and change gravity. So, and then this is what it looks like when you change to purple. It doesn't feel as much like a city though. That's the problem I think with this. So the thing I don't like about this design too much is that it feels very blue-red oriented. I expect the render to be much further from the scripts with that many verts. Nate Flynn. Oh, so you thought it was going to be a lot crazier? Yeah. Well, David has done some really fantastic optimization with this game. So yeah, so we're like right now this level is too blue-red centric, and it doesn't let you do much in the other colors. Hey, delish. How's it going? Delish. Just kind of walking through this level and talking about it, and so, but I do love the windows. The windows actually cause a lot of problems. One of the things I would like to do is in the distance, instead of actually having the instance there, I think I can create a normal map of some sort. Right, because that's how the edge detection works. It's using combination of normals and distance. And I think I can just simply have a normal map that has difference in values so the lines get drawn. And I think that might be enough. Maybe not for the ones that are like 4th or 5th out, but I think but the thing is with the 8 or 9 you don't really see that, and I kind of need the parallax, right? No clip speed 1 2. So this is how we would do the this is so you can I can set the speed of no clip, and this is something that I did when we were cutting together the trailer, adding a bunch of tools like this. So this is like a trailer shot right there. I think moving forward isn't as interesting though, because you're not revealing anything. It feels like if Da Vinci was immortal and created a city, this would be how it looks. Thank you, Gamer Leo. That is exactly the kind of stuff I want to hear. Most of the models are perfect copies and statics. They'd be prime candidates for batching. Yes, we do want to batch stuff later. Hey, Captain Pickles 10. The problem with batching is we do need to move stuff to the origin. Now, because the thing is, I want seamless level loading later on. And I believe what happens now, the problem is then that means I need multiple worlds, and they're going to be super far apart, and one of them will be at the origin, and the other will be at like 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. Now, I think what Skyrim does is the world is actually a treadmill. Like the player, I think this is Skyrim, or it's some open world game, but the world is the player is always at the origin, and the world actually moves underneath you, so that way you always stay at the origin, and that way you don't get floating point errors. Now, if I have seamless level loading, right, that means like you're at the world, you're at the origin, but then I'm going to load another one at 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. I can move you there, but at some point I'm going to have to move that world back into the origin, and I think the problem with batching is you cannot have the world move. So that can cause a problem. We haven't fixed that yet because I haven't gone to the I do have multiple levels, but I haven't quite figured out how they would all tie together. Maybe Bach, maybe not Mozart, but Bach, because I know with his canons, that's a lot about sort of themes, variations of themes. Yeah, like kind of you're playing off of mirrored, inverted variations, and I haven't, I actually don't know that much about classical music to comment on that. Alright, we're gonna speed up the movement again. So, yeah, this is really, really cool too. So that's kind of why batching is a bit of a problem. But yeah, you know, we were talking to David, it's like this game it seems like a game that should be really easy to optimize. But the problem is it's like however much we can push the GPU, I just oh shit is the thing I say the most. It's like whatever I can do basically with the art style is like however much I can push the GPU, that I'm just gonna do that, you know? Like I wouldn't have made this world before. The world wrapping was a lot more simpler, and then I was like, oh man, we can do crazy stuff, so let's go all the way. So I feel like whatever the limit is, I'm just gonna try to push it all the way there. Phew, that's it. That is a Gödel, Escher, Bach. You guys should all check out this book. I have not finished it. It reads like a math textbook. But so yeah, the problem is I think in this world, when you're in green and when you're in red, when you're in any of the gravities other than green and red, it just doesn't look that interesting. So, but it does make for cool screenshots. So I want to design, you know, I do want a world that feels like this, that looks and feels like this, but one of the things to do would be to make more connections between towers, which are all really the same tower, but I think you can have some really interesting puzzles based on that, right? Because I was saying, you know, you want to get to the left side of the tower, you're on the right side of the tower, and you want to get to the left side, but there's something blocking you. So what you can do is you can actually go to the tower to your right, but that's really the tower, that's really your own tower, but on the left side. So, and then what I would want to do is make sure that there are paths in the green and purple gravities and all the other gravities, right? Because right now it's like if you walk on green, you fall. So there's not a whole lot of really interesting stuff going on. Oh man, this looks super cool. Guys, check this out. This is like some demo scene stuff. Oh wait, let me line this up. Yes. Yes. Okay, that's screenshot material. Let's turn around and see what that looks like. Oh, that looks really cool too. Okay. That looks that's a little too busy. I think this is like a really nice, because we can sort of we're kind of framing it with the stairs. Place the towers at different angles. Placing the towers at different angles causes a lot of problems, because that actually means that the row wrapping doesn't quite work. It's not a puzzle book, it's actually a book about consciousness. Basically, the thesis in Gödel, Escher, Bach is that like he talks about self-paradoxes where the self-paradox, self-aware, right? It's like this statement is false, because if it is false, then the statement is not false. But if it is true, then the statement is false. So that kind of stuff. Did I hear back from PAX Prime yet about Mega Booth? I am not doing PAX Prime this year. I am not doing PAX Prime. I am not, I turned down Tokyo Game Show. I did not get into PAX Prime, but I was like, I'm not going to do shows. I'm going to focus on staying in Chicago, focusing on developing the game, and kind of, I'm going to be actually putting all my energy into streams. Pseudonym 73, oh, you picked it while reading Gödel, Escher, Bach at age 15. Yeah, it's a lot about recursion. It's about consciousness via strange oops, but it has it yeah, it's got a, I think the kind of the core theme of it is very similar to what this game is trying to address, because I do want all the mechanics to be kind of microcosms of the overall game design as well. It's kind of a statement of his religion, yeah. And for me, this is a very, very much... yeah, I don't know if religious is the right way to describe this game, but spiritual, like, I kind of want... You know, I sort of want this game to sort of highlight how cool math and physics and geometry can be, and kind of the possibilities that like simple rule sets can lead you to. Sorry guys, I'm not actually doing any design. I'm just like floating around and checking. Oh man, we gotta take some shots from the inside. That looks pretty busy. But whoa. That looks very Escher-esque. That looks super Escher-esque. Let me see if there are more. Oh, let's take a look at the world from these giant pillars. Okay, that's not as interesting. Let's fly up here. Alright, let's go to the other side. Okay, here we go. Now, let's switch over to... that's also... Yeah, see, this is what I mean. It's like it's too red-blue focus. So you only really get interesting view... Oh, check that out. Whoa. That's a really cool view. Huh. I feel like I've taken many screenshots of this particular view before though, but it looks really cool. Reminds me a lot of New York. I feel like just seeing kind of the fire escape. All right, let's go back. What the book is really about, I think, is how complexity arises from simple rules. Emergent complexity, yes. But even that is oversimplifying the book. Yeah, you have to read it. I mean, it's wonderful. Is flock mechanics also included? Are you talking about in the book, or is it? It's not an elitist book. It's not an elitist book. It is. It does take some effort on the reader's part to understand it. Yeah, I think Jonathan Blow and Frank Lantz, both of them are like. I think Frank Lantz especially. I've heard it. That's like. Gödel Escher Bach, it's his book. Min GI says, you want there to be a mathematics game that doesn't try to dress it up as shooting equations in bubbles or something. Yeah, that, there's a lot of that. I think, you know, also a lot of those mathematic games do not actually get to the beauty of math. Like, a lot of them are learning about equations or algebra, and I think this is, whereas like with high-level math, they're not actually using numbers, right? It's all about concepts and trying to think, yeah, complexity from simple rules. You have axioms and you try to make theories and then see what happens. No, I do not want to go into play. Flock mechanic. I don't know if there will be a flock mechanic in the game. Hey, Sora Grease, how's it going? Yes, this channel is the spot. I'm glad that you think it's meditative in the sense. Game Leo says, how you code is your religion. Terrence Deacon, I don't know who that is. You know, I never actually know. I don't know why Braid is called Braid, actually. I know in, I think in one of John's interviews, one of John Blow's interviews, he says, like, he found this one sentence online where this guy describes Braid using one sentence, and he was like, this guy got it, and I've never found it. There's a flock mechanic in Reproduction Man. Huh, right. tomorrow we are going to be showing two games. We're going to be showing, so Nate Flynn, he's in the chat right now. He will be on the stream. We're going to be playing through Haberdashery. I have a really hard time pronouncing the name. And then Data Kilmer is going to be our second guest, and we're going to play his game, Reproduction Man. Two very, very different games. And I think both have a lot of really interesting stuff to talk about. I've only played briefly because the thing is I want to like keep... I was like playing Haberdashery, but I wanted to save a lot of the initial reactions for the stream. So, okay, we're going to wrap up the stream pretty soon, but I want to kind of start looking at a bit... Okay, so first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to disable these two sides of it so that I can actually see what I'm doing. And we are going to start... Right, so the problem... Oh no, we need World 1 on, because see, this is... Part of it, what's going on is that we're making changes to one, but not really seeing what's happening in the other. So this, I feel, can kind of come... Excuse me. Kind of come out here. Right, so we're gonna kind of open up this area. We're gonna add... What we need to do is start adding walls. Oops. It looks like I just duplicated the entire thing instead of just the wall itself. Sora agrees. I've always read braid as sort of nonsense word. I'm only just realizing that it is an actual word I'm very familiar with. You mean just braid as in hair braid? Oh, so... Garlando Bloom says, braid is called braid because the subtitle to Gödel Escher Bach is An Eternal Golden Braid. As you can see down here. Interesting. Interesting. Huh. I know John is like, he's really interested in physics. But that's... Maybe I'll ask him when I see him in person next. I didn't know, like, I knew he liked Gödel Escher Bach, but I didn't know he liked it that much to name the title of his game after a word in the subtitle of this. Huh. Do I want to do that? Yes. No, I actually want to... Oh, yeah, I guess we could do it after the stream. That works. Because, yeah. I'll put the book... Gamer Leo, you should definitely play Braid and read Gödel Escher Bach. Though I haven't actually... I was actually, you know, for a while I was doing a Gödel Escher Bach reading group, but I was using Reddit, and I don't think that was working super well. Maybe... Once I have more time, it would be kind of cool to do it here, where we just kind of talk. The thing is, I just don't think Reddit is such a great discussion. Well, when you have like a really small group of people, so that kind of fell apart. But maybe if a bunch of people on the channel are reading, it would be kind of cool to at least just kind of talk a bit about some of the ideas. I've got this research project I'm working on this summer, so I will be showing a bunch of stuff from there. 1,000 Flash games on Congregate are eagerly awaiting your time. Interesting. I don't know if Garlando Bloom made the actual meaning clear. I think he just said, a braid is a representation of a strange loop, and the game itself is a strange loop in that it ends where it begins. Whoa. I need to play Braid again. It ends where it begins? Is that... Interesting. I need to play Braid again. I bet John will probably just not... I bet if I see him in person and I ask him, he probably just will not answer. Interesting. You know what? Because Hofstadter should do a Cosmos-like TV show, TV series. The Witness is more explicit about consciousness. Interesting, interesting. I'm super excited about The Witness. Alright, so you see, okay, so let's go into level design now. This is a problem that I run into. Okay, so take a look at this, right? Basically what I've got is I've got this little wall that, if this pink wall isn't here, then I've got this little gap. It protrudes out, which I don't like. But if I want to smooth it out, then now I've got this thing here, so it seems like what I might need to do is make this, yeah, you know what, this needs to be 14. And then we're gonna bring this set of stairs inside. And then we're gonna, No, you know what we need to do is just make this window smaller. Or what we can do is actually make this piece column a little bit smaller. So now it's 2, and then we just move the window over. The reason why I didn't want to make this thicker is that here I've got this like a 4-unit wide path, which I really like. But I don't really mind this column being a little bit smaller. So now what we can do is then move this wall here. So yeah, this is pretty much how a lot of level design for this game is. It's because it's so minimalist, it does mean I have to get a lot of the details right. Okay, so now we can make this smaller. I've only completed it once, haven't been able to bring myself to finish it second time through. Mibo, are you talking about, you're talking about Braid? Quora is better for deeper discussions. Yeah, but you need an account, which is really annoying. I mean, I guess you can just use Facebook, but I really don't like making more accounts. He will probably say, that's an interesting theory. Yes. Interesting, yeah. That is most likely what he would say. Braid also ends with World 1. Yeah, I need to read it back again. Now I'm forgetting whether I'm pronouncing the name right or wrong. Main GI. Well, isn't your name just Main GI? Okay, so now we've got this wall set up. We do need to close up this gap. So I'm gonna move this so you can see there's like this hole here. What I want to do now is close it up. And oh, so I want to remind you, so tomorrow we've got the game critique. Next Wednesday, again, for those of you who are using Unity or doing 3D stuff and you're not using Pro Builder, you'll definitely want to tune in next Wednesday. There is a surprise. One of you will be very lucky. That is all I'm going to say. So next Wednesday. Okay, so here's a problem, which is, again, okay, you see this? So by having this wall, it's lined up. So this piece is now lined up, is flush with the outside. But then when you go back inside, is like, I also forgot to account. So this window, we just need to redesign it. It needs to be slightly lower, so because there is going to be. Oh. Okay. Alright, this is. Right, because it's like if we line it up here. No, it should be lined up here, but this whole thing just needs to get slightly higher. Now, you know what? Yeah, okay, this whole thing needs to get kind of redone with these little pieces. Like, I need to lower the window. This thing should come out here like that. And then that way what I can do is have this piece come in. Of course, you know, what I can do is just make this like 4 units. Okay, we've also kind of broken probability. You can see, if you take a look at these lines, you can see that the collision line is different from actually what's being drawn, and that's sometimes when it's not lined up correctly on the grid, it gets screwed up. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete this piece. Wait, what is going on? Where am I? What is this one clicking on? Weird. Okay, here it is. It looks like we might have deleted the wrong piece. But, how do I pronounce your name? Cheer. Like, cheer up. Big fan of IRC, so Slack is the ideal discussion platform. Yeah, I do like Slack. That's the one I use with the 2 programs who are working on the game. Accounts is what brings accountability and thinking behind comments, so that is true. That is true. I think sometimes that's kind of the problem with Reddit. There is some really interesting stuff, but with anonymity, it comes with its own set of problems. So your nick is an anagram of limbo and rhymes with it. Ah, I see. Speaking of IRC, do kids even know what's IRC? They got their new stuff now. Snapchat probably. Yeah, see, I knew about Braid and the atomic bomb, but I didn't know. Yeah, it's funny because everyone talks about. I think their first impression of Braid is that it's a love story, which I think it is, but it's more, the love story is an allegory for the process of science. Guys, what if John's on the stream? Has anyone checked the viewer list? Maybe he's like... I doubt it. Be pretty funny if he was just like listening in on this discussion and snickering. These guys, they still don't know what my game is about. Oh right, this we didn't update the glass on the other side, so let's hit prefab, have that updated. Let's update this one, apply. Oh really? Huh. It's an obsession story, not a love story. Right. I would agree, yes. Well, no, it's a love story if you only play the first half of it. Cause you don't realize the obsession stuff until later. Okay, I'm also assuming that everyone in the stream has played it, which is probably not true. Braid quotes other games, such like George Lucas. Does Braid quote other games? I thought he quoted books. Oh man, is there a Braid parody? Can someone link me to that? What is this Braid parody that you guys speak of? Alright, so basically, what I'm going to do is, I think, so the reason why I've made this a lot, like 4 units, is that it feels a lot more intentional than when it's 0.5. Like when it's 0.5, it just looks like I made a mistake and I couldn't fit it in. But this feels like it's meant to be this way. And it sort of is. Right, and then this, we can kind of have it come down here. Yeah, this is looking way better. Why is this piece slightly bigger? Okay, so that also needs to get no, wait, do I need to extend this? Yes, I should. Yeah, there we go. So I think this is much more interesting now, right? And what I'll do next is place some stairs here, but I think we're actually going to leave this puzzle. We're going to leave, not this puzzle, we're going to leave this level kind of the way it is right now, because I am going to start working on... there's... Okay. Never mind, I just realized that... Okay, so the placement of these windows is wrong. So actually, no, never mind. These windows were correct. We do want them to... Okay, as it turns out, we do want this to be 2.5 units on each side. It was actually, this window, this piece of wall should have been moved over. And... Okay, so let's go ahead, apply prefab to the corner column, update that, and then move... Okay, so this wall is here. You see, I shouldn't have been placing it out there, right? This needs to actually be on the inside and then moved out here. So, and let's line this up. And now we'll do this. Oh, wait. Excuse me. No way, we were right. Okay. Anyway, I think we're gonna stop here. That's enough. So yeah, it's like, do I want to line it up? Do I want to have it lined up on the outside, or do I want to have it lined up on the inside? That is the question. I think what would be best is to step away from this, give myself some time, and then come back to it, and I think we'll fix it then. So let me see what else. Okay, let me catch up on the stream, on the chat. It doesn't quote it doesn't quote in the sense of literally text quotes. It just has visual allusions and references. I can see that. Yeah. John is a very big gamer, you know. That's the thing that's really cool about him, is like, he'll actually play all these games, and he'll play them through the end before he gives any feedback. And he is someone that's genuinely interested in games. So yeah, I guess in the sense it is quoting from Mario. Okay, is this the Braid ripoff appears in Microsoft Store? All right, I'll take a look at that a little bit. I'll take a look at that after. What else is here? Different forms, quoting in different ways, yes. Oh, wait, what the hell? It uses the assets from Braid? That's messed up. Last push of the day. Hey, Effect 0R. How's it going? Effector? Oh, man. It's, does Love Jenny 80? Is that a troll? Thanks for... by the way, huge thanks to MainGI, Ed Riofer, and Jet User, who are the mods. Really appreciate you guys kind of coming in for that. I think now that the channel is getting a little bit bigger, we're getting more of that. It does reference a lot of things because it's intended to reflect the complexity of the subject matter and leave room for interpretation. It is quite difficult to do that, though. and so people really boil it down. Wait, Apostolytic, you recreated the world in my game? All right. Let's call it a day here. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be doing the game critiques tomorrow. Yeah, for those of you who are enjoying it, make sure to follow. Tell your friends about the stream. I think today we had the most number of viewers. I think the highest was 44, which is super awesome. So I'm glad that people are enjoying it. And also, in the meantime, you can hit me up on Twitter. Let me know if there's kind of different stuff you like to see. After, this is probably the last that we'll see of this level for a little while. Because this is a lot of, like, tiny tweaking that helps to get some distance away. And then I'm going to start finishing up the more of the mechanics, the trees. We'll get the door fixed. Hopefully get that fixed tomorrow. We'll probably have Chris in... maybe not this week or the next. And also, if you are working on a work-in-progress video game and you want feedback, just send it to us. Send it to me. Hit me via email. If you want to kind of have us play it and talk about it. We've got like a really cool community here. Everyone knows games really well. If you got a puzzle game too, that's everyone's thing. So thank you all. And I will see you next time.